Sotah Yerushalmi Daf. Fangt an der Helge Perik. Arusa Shmes Yav Moshe Loine Tas Ksuba Shnemes as sister Isha Tachas Isha Venitmes Patlarusa Shmes Yava. So Arusa Shmes Yav, and obviously they're not married, so therefore they're not Shaisa, and they don't get, but they also don't get the Ksuba. Alman looking all the grush v'chuz koin head yet mamzes on sin Yisrael bas Yisrael mamzon on sin and lo shoyes again lo netas ksuba, and those are all obviously marriages that are awesome. Arusish mes yavam v'chule zok gemara v'yashkena. What's the problem? Let let the arusa drink. Why don't they drink? So the Gemara answers, "Gzeres hakasav baby ishas ishtoi elakayin. It's got to be ishtoi. And arusa's not ishtoi. So if that's the case, lo yikanala. Right? So if she's Narusa and when Mamayit Arusim Ksiv Ishtoi, right? So if that's the case, how could he be Mekana her? Torah Omra, if the Gemara Torah Omra, Vekines Ishtoi, Vekine is Ishtoi. Afilu Miktsas Ishtoi. It says Vekine is Ishtoi twice. So Afilu Miktsas Ishtoi, which includes an Arusa. So he can be Mekana, but she doesn't drink. So the Gemara mastita like Beisham. We're going with the gears of the carbonate. The Beishami Abaduna has ksubas v'loy shoysa, and our Mishnah says that she's loy shoysa v'loy tas ksubas. So obviously it's not Beishami. Amarusi actually Tamon they could be Beishami. Tamon might have Beishami Oimrim have a li ba'alevini shoysa. Over there, what happened was we're talking about a case. Beishami is going in a case where her husband died. So she says, no problem. Before she had a chance to drink. So she says, bring my husband here, and no problem, we'll drink. Right, but I'm hoch over here. That's how you say she'ein arusa shoysa lo mechnisa atzma lo mesafek amruba zeh b'shvil posla miksubasa. In other words, the fact that she put herself into this suffix of iser. So why was she put into this suffix iser? She put herself by putting herself into the suffix of iser by being nister with this guy. She passels. We're kind of certain we passel her from. She does not get a ksuba. Rabbi Yehuda asked, "Kamadat him and Haman v'kinis ishta v'kinis ishta afilu miktas ishta." The same way we just said, v'kinis ishta says it twice, so it's afilu miktas ishta. The gavasot tachas ishech afilu miktas ishech says tachas ishech twice, so it's even miktas ishech. So why don't we include over here a Shemeres Yavam, who it's Miktas Ishik, right? Because she's somewhat connected to the Yavam, right, through Zika. So, and she should drink. So, hey, Chavida, what would be a case that Kino, even Aruso, Shemeres Yavam, would be kindness as a Gemara even after she got married? So, Gemara says, Kino law, and Gemara gives a couple of examples. Like Kino law, it goes for a few cases actually. Kino law, Ida Rusa, he's Mekana while she was in Arusa, Vikansa, and then he marries a Venistera. And she Soisa after they get married. Mashka Isal Kinuyev, so no problem with this, she drinks. Kino law, Ida Shemeres Yavam, is Mekana while she was Shemeres Yavam. Right, her Yavam was Mekana while she was Shemeres Yavam, Kansa, Venistera afterwards. So again, Mashka Isal Kinuyev. How about Kinelo Oida Arusa? He was Mekana while she was in Arusa. Vinistera first, so the stira happened first. Then Vikansa, then he married her. And we're going at this the gears of the carbon. Eidav V'Yodaba, and he found out about it. Teitse Biksuba, so she gets a ksuba, because apparently if he married her anyway, then he was Michael. Vim Lav Teitse B'Loiksuba. But if you didn't know about it, then it's Teitse B'Loiksuba. Kinelo Baala Umeis. Let's say you have a case where a husband was Mekana and he died. And now she's in front of a Yavam, Vikansa, and he marries a Venistra, Mashka is al Kinuv. So he can mashka her on the original Kinoi of his brother, the original Baal. Loi Kinula Baal, let's say original husband was not Mekana. Umeis, and he don't have enough Lufnei Yavam, the Kinula, and the Yavam goes, and he's Mekana her before they did the actual Yibam. And he didn't have a chance to do the Yibam Machimes until he died. And now she falls in front of the third brother. So then that brother cannot be mashka. Even though brother number two was Mekana, but since brother number two never actually married her, and brother number one never gave her kinoi, so therefore the third brother number three has no right to give it to drink. Now avolim kinoi hayavam. Vikansa and he married her umeis, and he died enough of Yav. Now she falls in front of brother number three because of an istra mashkas a kinuyav on the kinuyav of brother number two. Tamataninun Ailonis was a Kana. Mashena Ruya live all day, Loisha, Subasa, all these women do not drink. There's no they didn't include in the Saita, and they don't get the Ksubish. Now it says Nixov Nizazara, Ruilas Zera, Yatzas Zu, Shenu Ruilas Zera. They are not capable of having children, therefore they're not included in the entire Saita. Hotev, Fretimarel Menel Koin Gadol, Hare Ruilas Zera. And we also said over there in the Mishnah, we said that she also doesn't drink. The Gemara Shani here, Amal Kohen Gadol is different. Ksiv Chal Zaroi Ba'amov, and obviously over here, if she's going to be Mechal the Zarad Lechal Zar Ba'amov, so over here we don't want it to have children, right? Because they're going to be Chalolim, so therefore they don't count, and therefore she doesn't drink, and she doesn't get a Ksub either. Tam Tanina Mamze Paisel Umachel. Okay, tzad. So we had a case. So the Gemara is asking now what we just said. You just told me that lo yichal zar ba'amav, that alamana basically her zera is considered as they're non-existent, and that's why she doesn't drink. Amar l'kohen gadol doesn't drink. We have a case of mamzer posel machal. What I'm talking about over here is we have a bas kohen who married a Yisrael and had a daughter. Now that daughter went and married an Eved, and they had a baby. That baby has a baby boy. Let's say that baby has a din of a mamzer. Now, let's say the Yisrael dies. Her husband, the Yisrael, dies. So now, usually the din is if, let's say, Bas Kohen is married to a Yisrael and the Yisrael dies, so Bas Kohen goes back to eating truma like she did before she got married. However, if she has offspring, then she from the Israel, then she does not go back to eating truma. Now, what happens if that offspring dies? Well, if that offspring dies, then again she goes back to eating truma like she did before she got married. Now, in this case over here, her daughter went married an Evan and had a mamza. So now this mamza we said is a zer apostle. So it's considered as if he's not, right? According to the Gemara, we just said zer loichal zaroi. We learned from that zer apostle is not considered to be zer. Well, if that's the case, how come this lady, right? This bas kohen married Yisrael, if her only surviving offspring is a mamzer, right, born from her daughter who was married to the Eved, why is she also eating truma? She should be mutter eating truma as if she never had any children. So for the Gemara, right? So this you telling me now. So Amrav Tanchuma, Tama, there's a difference. Tama zerein lo mekol malkai. Over there, zera ein law by the bas kohen. Over there, it's zera ein law, and therefore she can't have any children at all. So if there's any zera at all, that she does not go back to eating truma. But I'm over here. We're going with the gears of the carbon. Eda, zera kosher, zera apostle. So therefore, over here, when we say nixer and Israel, we mean for her to have kosher children, not zera apostle. And therefore, she doesn't eat. Amanu Kohen Gadol does not drink, and she doesn't get ksubid. Amar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Bun. Kluma mayim ba'an el latir lebeisa. He gives another reason. He says, "What is the mayim? What's the purpose of the mayim of the site? That's to be matter to her husband. V'zu kivin she'asura." Again, going with the carbon. Eda kivin she'asura. Armin loy hoitze anyway. Even without the mayim, you tell the kohen to divorce. You tell the kohen gadol to divorce the amana, and that's why it's eina shoysa ve'eina. And it tells ksuba so either. Zok teli mishnah locha beis. The elu loy shoysa loy nedlas ksuba. And we saw this already. I met us to me ani locha. In those cases, she's lo shaisa, lo teles ksubasa. Now, and Homer also any shaisa, and one who says that, I'm sorry, included in that is a third case of Homer any shaisa. That's also lo shaisa lo ksuba. And then we skip the next few words. In those two cases, also noitelis ksuba, but v'lo shayis again, because you say, well, if he's bala baderech, or he doesn't want to drink, so then obviously he's Michael, so she gets a ksuba and she doesn't have to drink. So let's say the husband dies before she has a chance to drink. We had this in Aleph. So Beishamai, this is the Beishamai. Beishamai holds noitelis ksuba. But loy shayskes, because they hold a star oimet ligvois is kegavadami, so therefore she gets a ksuba. So I'm loy shayses for loy nightless ksuba, because a star oimet ligvois is lav kegavadami, and we don't automatically assume that she's entitled to the to her ksuba.